Welcome to Season 9 of Naruto Shinobi Striker. That's right, we got a whole new season ahead of us. This game is going into 2026, still receiving updates. And the first character to open up this season is Hidan, and he brings a fantastic kit to defense types. They're still making some really unique and original jutsu for this game, which is really impressive. But since this is the start of a new season, we first have to look at two brand new ultimates that you get by purchasing the Season Pass. Getting Hidan won't unlock these for you, but getting the Season Pass will. So first up, for the range types, Collaboration Ultimate Art. Summon Sasori to create a C2 dragon covered in iron sand. The dragon crushes enemies from above and then, of course, explodes. It's one of those really long activations, so if anyone is even remotely looking at you, they might be able to avoid it easily. Luckily, this is an ability that has a ton of range and hits in a pretty big area. And after the dragon falls, it will stun the opponents and the explosion doesn't take long to follow. So it's a jutsu you're meant to use while hidden and from a distance. Walls are not an obstacle since the dragon just falls from the sky, so use it to snipe stationary targets that might be defending something. The jutsu itself deals very good damage but doesn't quite one-shot anybody. So it's good for dealing damage to a big group, but not great for guaranteeing kills. If you're a ranged type, I wouldn't feel like this is a mandatory ultimate at all. But you heard it right, the season comes with not one, but two bonus ultimates. The second one is for the heal types. Collaboration Ultimate Art. Yes, it is the same name. But this time you summon Deidara and mold some iron sand covered clay, which automatically falls in a radius around you while buffing nearby allies. This is a domain expansion, folks. You hit the button, and in this entire area around you, clay will continuously fall for a little over 20 seconds. And you can still act freely. You can attack, you can use ninja tools, jutsu, everything. You can even mount your ninja hawk and pretend like you're doing a bombing run. Now, the clay bombs seem to target random enemies within the circle. It doesn't seem to prioritize your lock-on or whoever's close to you. So this isn't something you can rely on for combos, especially since the explosions can actually be blocked. Enemies still get poisoned and you're a heal type, I'm sure you know how to break guards, but this feels more like a disruption ultimate than a damage ultimate, if you know what I mean. Your teammates also get a nice buff to their physical abilities. Specifically, they get a better lunge attack, evasion, action speed, and movement speed for about 30 seconds. I think this ultimate is really cool. I'm not sure how good or useful it is, but I had a lot of fun trying it out. I like this better than the range type for sure. That said, I don't think either of them are mandatory for your class. Anyway, that's enough about the Season Pass bonus stuff. Let's talk about Hidan himself. Hidan is a defense type character, and when you buy him, not only do you get his jutsu, you also get his unique hairstyle and his outfit from the past, which is a nice looking top and bottom combo. But this DLC also comes with a brand new weapon, which is Hidan's sickle, and it has a brand new moveset to Shinobi Striker. It seems to have been somewhat pulled from Naruto Storm, but that's fine by me, honestly. This weapon does exactly what I've been asking for a while. It replicates the character's moveset as the VR Master. Now, in this economy, where SS Plus weapons reign supreme, this weapon isn't really anything special. Jumping Heavy is armored for its entire duration, which is very long, so I guess that is something, but it's nothing crazy for Shinobi Striker. I mean, the new defense type weapon straight up shoots projectile clones. I actually got lucky this time. I got the weapon. This isn't very normal for me. It was bound to happen at some point, my first SS Plus weapon, but you don't need to get lucky to get his jutsu, so let's break them down. First up, Death by Dismemberment. Hidan is gonna spin around with his weapon, dealing damage to everyone around him and healing back whatever damage he deals. Spin to win, folks. Spin to win. You can just tap it for a quick attack, or you can hold it down for a bigger spin, but whatever you do, make sure you catch opponents in that final hit because that's where most of the damage is. This move is armored. He can definitely use it to power through enemies' defenses, but if you see it coming, you can outrun it or maneuver out of the way. And its biggest weakness is verticality. Once activated, Hidan has some trouble going up or down. He can jump a little bit if he's on the ground, but if you're airborne, I genuinely do not know how to land. This is extremely powerful to protect points or to capture points, and if you want to use it offensively and the opponent can't run, they also cannot block it because it will guard break them pretty fast. If they have defensive jutsu, this will either push them out of those shields or you'll be trading damage with something like Needle Jizo. That said, because it's not unblockable and only guard breaks, it will not be effective against Susanoo armor. But also you're healing as you're spinning, so against something like Needle Jizo, the trade is good for you. It's free ult charge. That said, if you're on the other side and you see this coming and running away is not an option, you're still not completely powerless. First of all, this does not disable substitution, so you can always just use your sub if it's off cooldown and then wait for the spin to end. Second of all, most unblockable attacks will actually interrupt this move, and since there have been a ton of unblockables lately, I guess it actually has a lot of counters. Solid jutsu, very versatile, very easy to use as well, but very easy to counter if you know it's coming. If you're looking for something a bit more advanced though, check out his second jutsu, Soul Reaper. Rush forward and attack with your weapon performing a combo, and every combo gives you a new buff that lasts until you're knocked out. That's right, this is a very easy to use combo jutsu that will buff you until you die. You can get up to 7 buffs depending on how many times you land the jutsu. The first buff is movement speed, the second one is action speed, the third one is evasion increase, 4 is melee attack power, 5 is defense, 6 is max health and a buff to healing received. It also restores your health back to max when you reach this one. And finally 7 is jutsu and substitution cooldown. If you're taken out, you lose all of your buffs and you gotta start over from scratch. Now this jutsu is very easy to land because you cannot substitute out of it until the very last hit. So once you land the first hit, you're gonna get buffed for sure, unless a teammate attacks the opponent, allowing them to sub out. Or if someone on the enemy team actually interrupts you, because much like our previous ultimate, this one is also armored. It also guard breaks on the first hit, but you can get interrupted by unblockable jutsu. The last hit of the combo is the one that gives you the buff, so if you get interrupted or the enemy dies before that, you will get nothing. That said, it's a jutsu that starts really fast and travels like crazy, making it very easy to land in 1v1s. You can use it as a combo starter or as a combo finisher, it's kind of up to you, but I do recommend running it with some type of survivability jutsu or with a pocket healer so you can build up those buffs over the course of a match. His other jutsu is actually a very good fit. His ultimate, on the other hand, maybe not the best idea because it's a bit suicidal. Curse Jutsu Death Possession Blood, a 2-stage jutsu where the first button press starts the ritual and the second one ends it. When you start the ritual, your health goes back to full. During this time, you cannot be killed. You will take damage, but your HP will not drop below 1. There are exceptions. There are jutsu that can actually kill you, like Kamui or Sealing Jutsu, for instance. But other than that, you are completely immortal. Your goal during the ritual is to mark as many opponents as possible. You can do this by hitting them with anything. A jutsu, an attack, or a ninja tool. That said, a simple kunai would maybe be overpowered, so they gave you a custom ninja tool during this ultimate, which is just a simple rush attack. It's fast, but you can also block it. It's simply a nerf. They didn't want you marking people with shuriken. When you're done, you press the button again and you will stab yourself, transferring all the damage you took to every enemy you marked, including the damage from the stab that takes you down to 1 HP. Now remember, the first stage heals you back to full HP. So even if no one attacks you, you're a defense type. You got the most health in the game. This is a suicide move that will kill almost anyone that has been marked. It's a jutsu with a ton of potential, but it has a glaring weakness. Ending the ritual requires a big cutscene, and this whole animation can be interrupted by unblockable moves. Yep, this is gonna be a week or a month of running unblockable moves to counter Hidan's stuff. If the opponent is ready for it, there's very little you can do. They will interrupt you. But if you are successful, you will most likely get multiple kills with this. All you gotta do afterwards is survive, since you'll be down to 1 HP. Of course, you can always choose to not activate the second stage and just let the ultimate run out. You would be treating it as kind of a big heal, and if you want to do that, I'd probably prefer running something like Sage mode instead, but I guess this one allows you to change your mind in the moment. The ultimate also charges pretty quick, especially if paired with an ability that heals you, like Hidan's first jutsu. After trying out all of these jutsu in a couple different builds, this is the ninja card I have made for Hidan. I think all of his jutsu are original, creative, and very fun to use, while having a ton of counterplay since all of his stuff loses to unblockable jutsu. So he is a great DLC overall. I did knock an extra rank from the ultimate compared to the jutsu, since it kind of feels like you gotta hide to complete the ritual, otherwise anything can interrupt you during that long animation. And you can't even use your ninja animal to quickly relocate, as it becomes disabled during the ritual. But I fully recommend Hidan if you're interested in more defense type jutsu. That said, that's only my opinion. I'd love to know yours as well. And for more Shinobi Striker, check out the best builds from before Season 9. No jutsu have changed so far, so these are probably still the best after the patch. Thanks for watching. Bye.